everyone, welcome back. Hey yo, and here we go, as I often say. Another edition of the Imagine It Wrestling Podcast. Or just the Imagine It Podcast, as you call it. But I like to throw wrestling in there because that's what we are. The Imagine It Wrestling Podcast. I am Martin, or Morton, depending on how you pronounce it. You're Joel, the ultimate babyface over here. And of course, I'm the futurist and the crown prince of charisma and a bunch of other handsome things. Now, we're going to get to the Imagine It concept of imagine it. Give divas a chance. Never trends. What happens with the women's revolution as it became known within the WWE? So, your thoughts, if AJ, a little context, AJ Lee is, I believe, injured. Emma and Paige face the Bellas, and the match literally goes 30 seconds. And AJ stands up to her bosses. Respectfully so. I mean, I have a lot of respect for her for doing that. She stands up to her bosses and sends out a hashtag saying, "Give Divas a chance." And it takes off. Goes viral. Gets a lot of momentum. Keeps going. And is the catalyst for the change that we saw in the women's division. What do you think of that never happens?
I still think, just based on the talent of the women that were coming up, Sasha Banks, the Bayley, Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, I think those women still eventually break through. I think it takes a little bit longer, but I really believe their talent and their skills will to take from Cody Rhodes. They become undeniable. They become undeniable, and it's hard to ignore because I think that the crowd eventually gets behind them to the point where if the Give Divas a Chance doesn't trend, their wrestling basically becomes that catalyst where they're like, these guys are really good in NXT. These women are putting on matches that are better than some of the men on the main roster. And I think it becomes undeniable that they have to be pushed and featured more prevalently on your product.
You think it just takes longer? One of the things is that NXT was the proving grounds. Like, they didn't just go, oh, geez, we should give Divas a chance. They went, there's some talent in the NXT. Let's see if it works there. Yeah. And slowly integrate it into the main roster. They already had performers who could wrestle. Like we talked about Paige and Emma, and
yeah, both of them could.
People like that. And if they're not getting a chance, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that the hashtag was so undeniable and so the push was so strong that it woke them up. I'm not sure that they are giving women in NXT more than 5 minutes before that. Like, I guess, I'm not sure the time period that Charlotte Flair versus Natty Neidhart, Natalya match happened in NXT that was like Ric Flair in the corner, I think Bret Hart in the other corner.
Yeah.
I'm not sure the timeline, if that was before or after.
I think that was after.
I think it was after. I think that's where they went, maybe this could work. But they already had Natalya in the main roster, and instead she was doing a gimmick where she was passing gas. You know what I mean?
Yes. There was a lot of bad. Like, this is the thing. Like, regardless of what I think it would eventually broke through, how women were treated was just so poor. And it was just like, it was a bathroom break. It was treated like a bathroom break. That's how how Vince viewed it. That's how the audience viewed it. It's a bathroom break. And there was a lot of talent there that you should have. Mickie James, Trish Stratus, Lita, all these women that were incredibly talented that you could have pushed more. You could have done more.
Well, they did do the main event with Lita and Trish Stratus on Raw, and
I remember
that was a major success. And occasionally they would have a match or a feud where they would let them get over, and like Mickie James against Trish Stratus, they put the belt on Jazz for a while because she was a bit of a badass and could really wrestle. But for the most of the time, I mean, the problem is Vince McMahon is always going to defer to what he knows best and what he's had success with. Just like he saw Bruno Sammartino face a series of monsters and then beat them, and then, you know, you build them up, you beat them, you move on. He did that with Hulk Hogan. Like, he followed it and it made sense. And where did he make the most money from a woman ever? And it was people like Tori Wilson, Sable, Sunny. Sable in particular was behind Steve Austin in one period in 1998, 1999. Before The Rock emerged, for a little while there, she was the second biggest star in the company. Yeah. She was drawing the second most money. She got the second biggest reaction behind Steve Austin. She sold the second most merch. She was massive star.
Yeah.
Right? Even Chyna and the sexuality, I mean, that got played up. You know, once she softened her look. And it's hard to blame him for having the mindset, oh, this doesn't work, this does work, when he did try a legit champion, a legit wrestler in Alundra Blaze before.
Yeah.
He went, now there's many problems with that era. He tried with Rock and Robin too in like 1987, 88. But didn't really push her and put her on TV very much or anything. Rock and Robin, by the way, the sister of Jake the Snake Roberts and Sam Houston, daughter of Grizzly Smith. Alundra Blaze was somebody who was pushed as a white meat babyface. They would bring in somebody like Bull Nakano or Rhonda Singh, someone like that, and build them up as the monster and have her face them. And she had good matches, and it was not a huge success. No. Now, there was problems with that division. Obviously, they didn't have a full division for Alundra Blaze to beat. They would just bring in somebody, build her up, a bunch of squash matches on TV against unknowns and stuff like that. And then she would, face Alundra Blaze, maybe win one match, maybe just lose and move on, right? But Bull Nakano in particular had a great match with Alundra Blaze, a couple of them. They even repeated it in WCW. I think he would have been extremely hesitant if that doesn't go viral to ever give it a chance. Now, eventually Ronda Rousey appears. Ronda Rousey takes over, and draws big money into UFC. And women's sports in general in 2026 are looked at as even as to men's. Yeah. We've finally gotten to that point where people respect the WNBA, whereas for a while they didn't respect it when it first showed up. Now it's like, oh, they're just as skilled, just as athletic. It's just they happen to be women.
Yeah.
So I think it would have got there by now.
Yeah.
But I don't think it would have been shortly after, like you seem to imply.
I think there would have been a match in NXT, and it probably would have... Because, to me, out of those four women, the best of the four is Sasha. I think eventually Sasha would have made it impossible for them to deny her. Because, you look at Mercedes Moné in AEW. She's come back. The reaction that she got was big. And it's just undeniable. She's one of the biggest stars in AEW, and she's been gone for 6 months. Mm-hmm. And she's come back, and they're like, well, the women's division has definitely taken a hit in AEW without having Toni Storm. And then you plug in Mercedes, and you're like, oh, it's all fine. We're good we're okay as a division. I feel like Sasha would have pushed it, would have dragged them kicking and screaming.
You had the four horsewomen who could all work. Well, three of them could work. One of them was incredibly athletic with a name that's incredibly recognizable, who could be carried through because she was super green in NXT. Eventually became a worker herself, but at the time had to be carried like Natty did in Flair. But I don't know that they're actively recruiting a Bianca Belair or an Asuka and people like that give the division the depth.
Yeah,
I don't know that they're not just pushing Eva Marie, which they tried to do regardless, and Dana Brooks and people like that. I'm a little more skeptical. Like I said, I think you get there by 2026, certainly.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's like 1 year behind. I think it's 4, 5, 6 years more to get this mindset without the viral.
Well, you think, because Give Divas a Chance was what, 2012?
No, I don't think it was that early. No.
It was a little bit later.
I think it was a little bit later, yeah.
Well, whatever year that it was trending, you think of when the women closed WrestleMania.
Let's put it this way. Yeah, 2016, I believe, was when I was at WrestleMania, because we're in 41 now.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so I was at 31, and that had the Bellas in a tag match, which was, again, treated like a bathroom break. I actually went to the bathroom during that match. And I believe it was 2 of the horsewomen in there with them.
Yeah.
I can't remember the details because I didn't watch the match. Because the mindset was there that it wasn't important. So I mean, if that's 2016, it's sometime a little after that. I'm guessing.
You think
a little before? It's probably a little before that happens because the horsewomen were up. So it's probably 2015, 2014 in that range. That the Give Divas a Chance kind of trends, but it's not 2012.
I think when that it's funny you mentioned WrestleMania 31 because I was at 35.
Yeah.
And the main event were the women.
Yeah.
So you think that in that 4-year span it got to the point, and Becky Lynch was one of the hottest stars heading into that Mania. Mm-hmm. Like her feud with Ronda was must-see TV. Like the broken nose and the blood and the man, like that's seared into my memory. Mm-hmm. Of seeing that on TV and just getting to see women close out WrestleMania, which is historic. Because that, if we go to before that was trending, you would thought that was never possible. That would never happen. And that trend happened, and then we get to WrestleMania 35.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is I don't think it happens by WrestleMania 35.
No, I don't think so.
It happens by 2021 or so, probably. Bianca versus Sasha was obviously should have been the main event. Maybe that happens and maybe that pushes it to earlier. But yeah, I think we're looking more like 2022, 2023 before we see women main event of WrestleMania. You know, the women have proven they can deliver. Yeah. It's great stuff. And I'm glad they got there.
Well, you look at that, like they had Joan Jett play Ronda out for Mania 35. You had all these special entrances, and you had Becky get her crowning moment, which we'd been waiting for. As an audience, you had been waiting for Becky to have that crowning moment.
WrestleMania moment.
So it really, I think if you go through it, the reason that happened was because of AJ Lee and that trend.
That trend.
So
thank God she did that.
Yeah, I think it made a big difference.
Absolutely. Go ahead, tell the people where they can catch us.
You can find us on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, where you're watching this whole thing right now. Like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment. Let us know what you think about the women's division. Do you think they would have still been able to make it had Give Divas a Chance didn't trend? And until next time, I'm Morton. Oh, God. I'm Joel. You're Morton.
Yeah, no, all of a sudden, you're not that good looking.
I'm Joel. This is Morton. We'll be back again for another Imagine It.